迎收看中国之星电视台芝加哥新闻节目，我是主持人于飞。美国当地时间6日，国家主席习近平携夫人彭丽媛访问美国，在美国佛罗里达州海湖庄园同美国总统特朗普举行中美元首会晤。两国元首进入了深入友好、长时间的会晤，双方高度评价中美关系取得的历史性进展，同意在新起点上推动中美关系取得更大发展，更好惠及两国人民和各国人民。会晤中，习近平指出，很高兴应总统先生邀请来美国举行这次会晤，愿同总统先生就中美关系和重大国际及地区问题深入交换意见，达成更多共识，为新时期中美关系发展指明方向。同时强调，中美两国关系好，不仅对两国和两国人民有利，对世界也有利。中美关系正常化45年来，两国关系虽然经历风风雨雨，但得到了历史性的进展，给两国人民带来巨大的实际利益。习近平指出，合作是中美两国唯一正确的选择，两国完全能够成为很好的合作伙伴。下阶段，双方应该规划好两国高层交往，并欢迎总统先生年内对中国进行国事访问。双方可以继续通过各种方式保持密切联系，充分用好新建立的外交安全对话、全面经济对话、执法及网络安全对话、社会和人文对话4个高级别对话合作机制，推进双边投资协定谈判，推动双向贸易和投资健康发展，探讨开展基础设施建设、能源等领域务实合作。双方要加强在重大国际和地区问题上的沟通和协调，共同推动有关地区热点问题妥善处理和解决，拓展在防扩散、打击跨国犯罪等全球性挑战上的合作，加强在联合国、20国集团、亚太经合组织等多边机制内的沟通和协调，共同维护世界和平、稳定、繁荣。本周四，芝加哥市政府假作芝加哥历史博物馆举行了2017年国际姐妹城市庆典活动。在开展国际合作领域，芝加哥市政府以28个姐妹城市的成绩一直位列全美第一。共有来自全球各地的姐妹城市代表，10多个国家驻芝加哥领事馆的官员，以及600多名志愿者参加了本次庆典活动。该活动由芝加哥市政府主办，由芝加哥姐妹城市和国际商业合作局协办，展示了多年来芝加哥与各个姐妹城市多方面合作的成就，并积极推动了在2017年即将合作项目的方向和核心战略。庆典上，芝加哥副市长史蒂夫·寇奇发表了讲话，对多年来合作的姐妹城市表示了感谢，并就合作成就进行了总结。
We welcome tourists, business leaders, but probably most important of all, we welcome immigrants every day. We welcome people from around the world to see what Chicago has to offer and what it can mean to their countries. Because it's a two-way street. This is not something where you only take advantage. It's a two-way street, and we feel that very deeply. And as we look to continue to boost things like tourism, things like the economy of Chicago, but we boost the vibrancy, the vitality, the diversity of Chicago by welcoming people from all over the globe. We rely on people like you, the sister city committees, to increase those numbers and to carry the message to people around the globe that no matter what is going on in some places in the United States, and no matter what some people have to say on this topic, Chicago is going to remain an open city, a welcoming city, and a city that's engaged with the rest of the world.
中国驻芝加哥总领事馆副总领事刘军先生参加了此次活动，并接受了本台采访，就中国与芝加哥多年来的合作情况进行了大致介绍。
对，这个今天很高兴参加这样的活动啊。刚才副市长也提到了，这个芝加哥有28个友好城市，但是呢，它跟大多数国家都只有1个，唯独是跟中国是有2个城市，一个是沈阳，一个是上海，而且他们建 建立友好姐妹关系的时间都比较久了，都是85年，所以我记得2年前呢，芝加哥跟上海和沈阳分别都搞了这个庆祝30周年的这个友好活动，这个搞了很多大的活动来庆祝，所以我觉得芝加哥在跟中国发展姐妹友好关系方面确实是走在前面了。以下有2个城市，而且这些年来，这个芝加哥跟这2个城市的民间友好关系走动得非常近。这个2年前搞了活动以外，还有其他的大量的像教育方面、文化方面，每年都有一些活动。我们总领馆呢也非常支持他们开展这样的活动。从成果方面应该讲，就是芝加哥市长伊曼纽尔非常重视对华关系。他说，他要把芝加哥打造为对华最友好的美国城市，所以这方面芝加哥确实非常努力。那么在现在中美关系互相交融的基础之上，利益这个交融非常密切的基础之上，芝加哥确实走在对华发展关系的前面。那么芝加哥跟这2个城市，跟沈阳、上海发展的这么好，那么形成了非常好的成果在什么地方呢？就是3年前芝加哥市长去中国访问，又签了一个8+1协议，就是8个中国城市跟芝加哥一起搞一个城市间经贸投资合作这工作小组，所以这个也是建立在芝加哥与2个城市发展有成的基础之上。也就是说，这8个城市就包括了沈阳跟上海2个城市。那么国内8个城市跟沈阳跟芝加哥1个城市，那么在民间友好的基础之上，进一步加强经贸投资方面的合作，所以让芝加哥跟中国的这个关系更加紧密，利益更加交融。所以我觉得芝加哥这个做法跟中国的交流做法是非常起到了一个非常好的一个样板作用。这个对于其他美国城市那么带动其他美国城市跟中国开展类似的经贸投资合作，这个打下了一个非常好的基础。这就是它的一些主要的一些成果。
本周4，芝加哥克兰商业研究中心发表了一份年度调查报告，评选出芝加哥地区最受员工欢迎的企业名录。在名录中，高科技行业的微软公司再次被评为首位。芝加哥克兰商业研究中心自2008年起就开始每年进行这项调查，调查范围除芝加哥市外，还包括了以芝加哥市为中心的1州多个郡县以及印第安纳州北部地区。该机构称，这份报告是根据15000名受访者的调查数据总结出来的。调查数据包括企业薪酬、晋升制度、医疗保健、员工福利、休假时间、管理层与员工的关系、职业发展、企业文化以及工作场所等众多方面。据称，该调查和评比活动旨在积极促进芝加哥地区企业和员工的友善关系，以达到推动和促进企业及地区经济发展的目的。感谢您的收看，今天的新闻节目就播放到这儿，我们下次同一时间再见。
Norwegian Prime Minister Erna Solberg has arrived in China for an official visit at the invitation of Chinese Premier Li Keqiang. Ahead of her visit, Solberg said she was looking forward to her visit and discussing bilateral cooperation in various fields with the Chinese leadership, business people, and others. China Report has more. The Norwegian Prime Minister said there are new opportunities for her country and China to increase cooperation after 6 years of frozen relations.
And I'm looking forward to discuss a whole range of political issues with the Chinese leadership, but also to see how we can increase our cooperation between Norwegian businesses, Chinese businesses, but also universities and all of, the whole societies, because we've had a lot of cooperation over time, and I think a new opening now can increase that.
Norway was among the first Western countries to have recognized the People's Republic of China, and the two countries have traditional friendship and pragmatic cooperation. Although relations hit a snag, the two countries issued a statement in December last year on the normalization of ties. The Norwegian Prime Minister said Norway and China can expand their cooperation in areas such as the Arctic, maritime activities, and innovation.
Well, I think the basis for that is that we have different layers of cooperation. You have a political cooperation discussing important issues. China is, of course, a large country. Norway is a small country. I think Norway have some things to offer in a cooperation on our knowledge on the Arctic, on sea and oceans, and our innovation abilities and all of that areas.
On a Sino-Norwegian trade relationship, Solberg said both sides are working to restart the negotiations on a bilateral free trade agreement. She said a large group of Norwegian business people, including those from the Nordic countries' biggest companies, are in her entourage to seek new cooperation opportunities with their Chinese counterparts. On the importance of people-to-people contacts and cultural exchanges, Solberg said she was glad to see a growing number of Chinese tourists coming to Norway. She also said Norway, as a country which is good at winter sports and experienced in holding winter games, is ready to cooperate with China, which will hold the Winter Olympics in 2022.
We are a small country, but we are a big winter sports country, especially in the Nordic fields and on cross-country skiing and biathlon and others like that. And I think it's an area for good cooperation, and I know that what we now are working on is to in fact have a closer cooperation up until 2022 with the Chinese government and the arrangement committee on the Olympic Games.
Solberg also said she appreciates very much that the Chinese leadership has been outspoken on the fact that we have to have multilateral organizations that function.
For a small country, multilateral organizations and international rules and regulations are very important, because we know that if there's not an agreed international framework around solving issues, trade for example, then the big countries will decide a little bit between themselves. And so for all small countries in the world, I think it's important that also China is now showing leadership on supporting the multilateral solutions and not just having bilateral solutions.
Chinese officials said earlier that Beijing attaches importance to Solberg's visit to China, during which she will meet and hold talks with Chinese leaders, and they will exchange views on bilateral ties and issues of common concern. Shanghai's maritime authority says a foreign vessel carrying 14 people sank near the Yangtze estuary on Thursday. The ship carrying 4,850 tons of steel overturned after a suspected collision. The 97-meter-long vessel is registered in Kiribati, an island country in the West Pacific Ocean. 2 crew members have been rescued by a Panama-registered vessel nearby. 12 others are still missing. A total of 17 vessels have been mobilized to assist in the search for the remaining crew members. A senior official has said China is poised to elevate the domestic robotics industry. The official said more than 800 enterprises offering products and services in electronics, machinery, chemicals, and medical services have already prepared for the upgrade. China produced more than 72,000 industrial robots in 2016, up 34.3% year-on-year. According to industry insiders, sales are expected to exceed 50 billion yuan, or about $7.26 billion in 2020. The Ministry of Industry and Information Technology will expedite regulations in line with the government's Made in China 2025 plan. Industry organizations are also to offer expertise to local authorities. The ministry will also set criteria for market entry and complete a robotics evaluation system to boost industrial development. After 3 years of development, the Belt and Road Initiative has brought a gradual but steady change to the many peoples and countries along the ancient trade route. Its impact is defying the expectations of international observers. Many have regarded it solely as an extension of Chinese diplomacy. With more than 100 participants and advocates so far, including international organizations, the initiative has now become a path to increase the prosperity for the local areas around the route. In Africa, Chinese capital has helped develop transportation and energy infrastructure, which is key to the economic development of the continent.
Many Chinese constructors are now employed here locally to contribute to Africa's infrastructure development. Culture shock and homesickness are just some of the difficulties faced by the Chinese workers in this foreign land. At the Adama base along the Addis Ababa-Djibouti railway in Ethiopia, a train loaded with relief food is waiting to be unloaded. The delivery of international relief supplies and support for the Ethiopian drought was the first service of the railway last year. Its maiden voyage became a source of pride for the on-site Chinese workers. Ma Jiangcheng, responsible for goods transport, will retire next year. Prior to this job, his work had taken him all over China, but he decided to choose the Addis Ababa-Djibouti railway as the last job of the career. He said the winning glory for the country and bringing experience to Africa are his main missions here.
As I neared retirement, I wanted to see our country's railway construction around the world. So I went to Ethiopia as part of the China Railway Engineering Corporation to contribute my own work and time before my retirement. I wanted to apply my knowledge and understanding and integrate them into the construction of the Ethiopian railway.
In the 1970s, China provided support for the construction of the Tanzania-Zambia railway, even though it was facing its own economic difficulties. Today, advanced technical skills and strong logistical operations mean that Chinese constructors are supported as they work on Africa railway construction. However, they still need to face strange and difficult environments.
Differences in climate, living environments, language, as well as a kind of homesickness are felt inside.
Among people who devote themselves to the frontline construction of Addis Ababa-Djibouti railway, there are not only willing oxen such as Ma Jiangcheng, but also many young and eager recruits who just took the post. The young technical officer Chen Jing'an left China to work on the Addis Ababa-Djibouti railway just a month after meeting his new girlfriend. This cowherd and weaver girl, separated by thousands of miles, eventually got married after more than a year of communication by phone. Now Chen's wife is pregnant at home. He feels guilty because he cannot take care of her.
She truly supports my work. Although she suffered many difficulties, I needed to make my choice as a member of the China Railway Engineering Corporation. I can't do nothing but say that I'll make up later.
When discussing the importance of perseverance in the East Africa plateau from thousands of miles away, both Ma and Chen mentioned responsibility and mission as a Chinese railway man.
They have a sense of responsibility and a sense of mission. On a micro level, I've come here on behalf of the company. On a macro level, I represent the Chinese people. I will certainly do my utmost to build the railway.
Wang Guoli works in Mombasa, Kenya, more than 1,000 kilometers away from Addis Ababa-Djibouti railway. Mombasa is not only one of the final destinations of the ancient maritime Silk Road, it is also the starting point of Mombasa-Nairobi railway built by China. Wang Guoli is a Chinese engineer in the Mombasa-Nairobi railway project.
When I arrive at the scene every morning, I first of all conduct a thorough on-site inspection of the machinery and equipment to see if they are already in place or not. And then I go to each worksite to see whether the on-site workers and operators are wearing protective equipment or not, to do a security check. Afterwards, I make a qualitative check to see if they are in accordance with the requirements of the construction.
To overcome the language barrier, one of his Chinese colleagues will learn English during breaks and look through the English construction program again and again. As a result, the communication between one and his workers is now smoother.
When I just arrived here, this side was a wasteland. But now, the port has emerged in the shape of the station. If all the tasks can be completed, I think this will be a huge, spectacular, majestic project.
There are 2,000 Chinese management and technical personnel like Wang Guoli on the Mombasa-Nairobi railway project. They, together with nearly 30,000 Kenyan employees, are making great efforts to build a so-called century railway. According to reports, after the completion of the Mombasa-Nairobi railway, the travel time between Mombasa to Nairobi will be reduced from the current 10 hours to 4.5 hours. This is aimed at greatly boosting the economic development of Kenya and East Africa. Chinese President Xi Jinping, attending a meeting in South Africa in 2015, pledged a $60 billion fund that will strengthen China's relationship with Africa over the next 3 years. Africa's industrialization is among the 10 major programs announced by China to improve cooperation. China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi said that despite a gloomy world economy and sluggish growth of global trade, Sino-African cooperation in the alignment of their industrial policies are growing stronger.
In the movie Elysium, we're shown an ideal world where there is no sickness or pain. In the story, the fictitious world is found outside our world. However, with new technologies, some people are turning the movie plot into reality.
In the 2016 Robot Conference in Beijing last October, Harbin Engineering University, Beijing Remibot, and other institutions brought their medical robotic products to the show. The robots can aid with physical recovery or make specific healing plans for individual patients. Some could even generate big data for future medication purposes. Beijing Remibot surgery robot is able to perform cranial operation with 1 millimeter precision targeting.
Before the operation, doctors input the CT and MRI or other two-dimensional images into the software to generate 3D images. Meanwhile, all kinds of data will be joined together to select a best option of surgery that avoids hurting critical organs and be most sufficient. That's the surgical planning for the doctors.
Paolo Dario, a professor of biomedical engineering of Italy's Scuola Superiore Sant'Anna University, has made many advances in colonoscopy robotics over the years.
In China, there are more than 150,000 new cases every year. And what is true is that by early detection, this cancer can be cured. I mean, there are no reason. You know, there are some cancers that are very difficult to cure even if detected early. But this cancer, the colon cancer, can be cured if detected early. A way of doing that is through screening of all population, but current technology is not very acceptable because it's painful for people, or it requires sedation, and so it's not a technique that can be used by everybody. Okay, I mean, people don't like to do that. So the technology we are developing is painless and will be easy to use.
He categorizes medical AI into 3 types. The first is local intelligence, based on sensor technology. The second is remote intelligence, that uses the internet. The third type is cognitive intelligence, building the robot itself. IBM's Dr. Watson is one of the world's leading AI medical systems. It has been used in the Wuzhen Internet Hospital of East China's Zhejiang province. According to Zhang Qunhua, the hospital's director, the system is especially useful in China as its internet base can provide solutions to the country's unbalanced medical resources.
大多数的医疗资源是在发达的城市。
Most of our medical resources are based in developed cities, and in rural and other less developed areas, the resources is scarcity. The system will help both the residents and the hospital build a balanced information platform.
Chen Liming, the IBM chairman, highlighted its usefulness for China and its large population.
试想一下，计算机可以看得懂所有的化验报告。
Imagine that computers can read all medical reports and images, X-ray, CT, MRI. Imagine that computers can understand genome, and people live in remote areas can be provided with the same services as people live in big cities. Its biggest advantage is that it can serve hundreds or thousands of people at the same time, which is far more advanced than the current remote medical service.
The director of IBM Research, Xie Guotong, said the core of cognitive medical system is cognitive computing. This includes thinking processes, self-study, and the understanding of natural language. The system can accumulate vast data on tumors or diabetic or vascular diseases by reading millions of medical archives and studies.
其实都是它自身有推理能力，它会去阅读患者的这个个性化患者的信息。
It actually has the ability of reasoning. It can read the medical record of individual patient. After the analyze, the system will generate 3 to 5 options according to efficiency and side effect, and then sort them in order for doctors to make the final call.
In August 2016, IBM, together with Hangzhou Cognitive Care, announced that Dr. Watson would be introduced to over 20 hospitals in China. It was planned the robot would be used to assist Chinese doctors with more customized cancer healing plans. Xie firmly believes that in the future, machines will surpass human doctors in certain fields.
比如说像一些皮肤癌的诊断，这个是我们做过实验，最好的医生大概识别率大概在85%。
Our experience says the best recognition accuracy that human doctors can get for skin cancer is 85%, while machines can reach 97%. The second advantage is that machines do not have to be specialized in one field. They can be more general and capable of reading all data, including genome and images. Let me take a wild guess. I don't expect machines can overtake the best doctors, but they will be definitely equal to high-level medical staff soon.
但是达到这个高水平医生的水准是指日可待。
IBM is investing heavily in AI, and the firm believes that the technology will make diagnoses both more efficient and more personalized.
We spent about $1 billion. That's some real money there, and it shows you the significance by which IBM views artificial intelligence to its future. We've applied it certainly in the medical field. You may have read what we're doing with cancer research and Ebola and the like. The idea being, and imagine this in China, having a device on an iPad that I can take anywhere. I can read my current health conditions, know my records, take pictures of perhaps spots of melanoma on my hand, and immediately get advice. That's now and present. It exists in what we have done with Watson, and we have a number of relationships with hospitals and universities to make that manifest.
At the end of the film Elysium, medical spaceships are assigned to Earth, and robots heal residents with effective high-tech equipment. As technology evolves, such a future world without sickness might be coming closer.